Medieval Carrack, Arch Royal, and how she came to be. In this video, we'll go over how I built my Lego Carrack and the real-life history of the ship that played a massive role in naval warfare, exploration, and trade. The inspiration to build a Lego ship came from visiting the Mary Rose in Portsmouth, England. The Mary Rose was a formidable warship, serving for 34 years, and took part in a number of wars. She fought against the French in the Battle of the Solent in 1545. The pride of Henry VIII and the flagship of the English fleet tragically sank. Of the around 500 men on board, only about 30 survived. One major reason? The anti-boarding nets stretched across the decks, which prevented many from escaping as the ship went down. In 1982, what remained of the Mary Rose was recovered and turned into an impressive museum. Back home, I started thinking about building a medieval ship that would fit my Lego castle world, but the Mary Rose was an early modern period ship, so that wouldn't work. However, while gathering reference images and researching the development of the Carrack, I learned that earlier versions were very much what I was looking for. I also learned that the Carrack was present for some of the biggest moments in history. The first Carracks emerged in the 14th century on the Iberian Peninsula, evolving from earlier single-masted cogs and combining Mediterranean and Northern European shipbuilding techniques. Unlike its predecessors, the Carrack was a true ocean-faring ship with 3 masts, rigged with a combination of square and lateen sails for both speed and maneuverability. It featured a deep, rounded hull for cargo space and stability in rough seas, but this also meant it needed deep water ports. A Carrack is instantly recognizable thanks to its high stern castle and even taller forecastle extending out over the bow, which made it a floating fortress. These towering castles weren't just for show, they were strategic advantages. Merchant ships could defend against pirate boarding parties, while warships used them as elevated platforms for archers and gunners. Similar to antiquity, during medieval naval battles, ships would grapple together, exchange projectiles, and then board. Height mattered. A ship that towered over its enemy had a huge advantage. An example of this was the 1372 Battle of La Rochelle during the Hundred Years' War, where Castilian carracks rained arrows down on the English fleet of cogs, capturing or destroying every enemy ship. As carracks developed over the centuries, they grew larger, gained more sails and masts, and were outfitted with cannons, making them even more formidable. Beyond warfare, the Carrack was crucial to the age of exploration. Its seaworthiness and large cargo capacity made it one of the most important ships of its time. In 1492, the Santa Maria was one of the 3 ships that sailed west into the great unknown with Columbus. In 1497, the São Gabriel served as Gama's flagship on the expedition that discovered the route to India around Africa. The Victoria, part of Magellan's expedition, was the first ship to circumnavigate the Earth in 1519 to 1522. And then, of course, the Mary Rose, a great warship with a tragic end in 1545. By the late 1500s, the Carrack started gradually being replaced by the galleon, a faster, sturdier, and more stable design. Think of a classic pirate ship with a big beak. With all this history in mind, I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted for my Lego build. I started experimenting with a hull design, using parts from my collection. I then switched over to Studio to continue to tinker. Studio is a great tool for designing Lego digitally. If you're into Lego and haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend it. I learned it for this project. My goal was to have a ship that scaled well with my castles and didn't tower over them. I also wanted it to be modular, so the hull could be included for display, but also be removed to look like the ship is floating. But after hours and hours, I just could not get it to look like it should. The hull design wasn't letting it achieve the Carrack shape. Discouraged, I went back online to see what other Lego builders had done, and that's when I found something unexpected. Just a few months earlier, LEGO released a Carrack-style ship, and I thought I could modify it to accomplish my goals. So I downloaded the instructions, built it digitally, modifying as I went. It was painful to scrap all my earlier work, but I was so much happier with the final result. And here it is, my LEGO medieval Carrack, christened the Arch Royal. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I have more ships to share. Thanks for watching.